You know, I should be sleeping right now, but so I'm pulling about 6.5 mile an hour. You know, I should be sleeping right now, but I slept 2 hours last night. Woke up at about 4 o'clock. Now I'm headed to town. I'm gonna go get me McDonald's and then see if I can go back to sleep or what I'm gonna do. We'll see what happens. I'm gonna go get McDonald's and then come back. I'll probably end up pulling out in hydro tanks. So anyways, today is gonna be our first day back in the fields. So I'm excited. They're gonna start putting on gas here this morning. Hopefully here around 8:30 we'll try and get them running, get one rig running at least. I know Zach's rig's not exactly ready yet, so we gotta work on it. Make sure, well, it's ready, it just hasn't been ran yet. So but anyways, I'm passing Ross's house now and I'm going to get me some food because I'm hungry. So a little bit of a change up from what I said earlier, but now we're working ditch banks. So basically where they had dug out all these ditches through here, they throw it all up here on the ditch bank, and we're working this in. If you guys remember, I done this a lot last year too, last spring, but I don't mind it. And plus, one of our neighbors slipped me a little bit of cashew and said, hey, top across the ditch there and do mine. So his really is not that bad compared to what some of ours was, but he said to go for it, so we're gonna give her a shot here and finish her up for him. But they have smaller front wheel assist tractors, and they apparently had a hard time last year doing it. So he was like, just hop across there and do it because we got a big 4-wheel drive out here, so might as well use it. But I got the big 45-foot field cultivator out here doing it this year. Last year I was using a little 35-foot disc or 30-foot disc or something like that. Not that bad, but I don't mind using it. It's just smaller. And see, like this one, I can hang that wing out there a little bit farther than what I can with the other one. And I ain't gotta ride across the top of it all the time. Makes it a lot smoother in the cab. But yeah, I'm going all the way up here to this next bridge. I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna put the tractor right there in the middle where I'd already smoothed it out, and pick it up a little bit and scrape the rest of it down. Hopefully they'll come back and they'll hit it with another disc in another couple weeks before they start planting, and then that way it's nice and smooth for them. But yeah, so basically that's what we're doing now. We're trying to break this stuff up because when they pull it out of there, this is like silt. It's really, really wet. So we gotta break it up as much as what we can and get it to fluff up, so then that way it'll dry out. Because it doesn't dry out like what normal dirt does, because it's been sitting in the bottom of the ditch for so long. So hopefully it'll soften up, and then it'll end up drying up. But I mean, like right now, if I just took it and I drove right off into that, I'd probably almost get stuck. Actually, I know I would, because I've done that a time or two. So I'm running this thing all the way down. So I'm running it all the way down, so then that way you're working it down as far as what you can. So switch sides a little bit. They threw it farther away from the ditch here. Oh my. Oh boy. Probably get off the GoPro. So I'm pulling about 6.5 mile an hour, roughly. Trying to keep my speed up, throw all that dirt around as much as I can as it. And we're starting to spin a little bit. But they will come back and work this. I hope they do. I hope they don't plan on planting through this. I'm gonna go over and talk to Dad here in a minute. He's right over there across the ditch. But yeah, all these ditches here, they all run to the river, into them pump houses like what we run down south. And that's how they get all the water moving around, is through these big ditches. Well, they gotta clean them out so then the water will stay running through them like what they want. And this is the only thing they can do with the dirt, really. We really can't do much about it. But then again, you know, in another 10 years, whenever I want to build a house, if I want to build up, or, oop, that ain't good. If I want to build my house up like my dad done with ours that I'm living in with them now, then all you gotta do is bring down like a scraper pan, come down and scrape it off the top, and there you go, you got a foundation to build a house on. I mean, ooh, that's a little wet. Little bit wet. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They'll have to come back and work it again, which they understand that. They've done this before, so. But I mean, these ditch banks, they'll build up over time, so you'll just come through and eventually one day just scrape it up if you want to use the dirt and use it. But this is actually really fertile dirt that's in the bottom of these ditches for some reason. So. Not waving back. He's disappointed about something. So Dad's trying to find a riser right there. There used to be one there and he can't find it, so he's looking for it. We're gonna go back to the farm and actually start working some ground behind the anhydrous rigs, because why not? We got anything better to do today, I guess. But normally you wouldn't want to drive across the field like this, but this is all going to get worked, so it ain't a big deal. So, good morning, guys. Work truck still broke down, so we're in my nice truck going down to check and see if Steven needs anything on his anhydrous rig. Doesn't even look like he's here, but here in a bit I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna see Gray. They're putting on hog manure with their liquid bar, so that'd be something pretty cool. And plus I seen a video on it the other day on something and it wasn't right, so gotta correct it, right? I guess so. Yeah, it doesn't look like Steven's here. But Zach is out running now. He looked to be doing pretty good so far, especially for it only being 9 o'clock in the morning. But he also hasn't put anything on for the past 3 days. So, yep, Steven is not here. So one thing to remember is, we had a pretty expensive bill the other day. So the other rig, the in-serve pump went out on it, and it used to have just a wheel drive in-serve pump that sat on top of basically one of the drive wheels for the rig, and that was what basically told how much in-serve to put on. But it went out, so we had to switch. We decided to switch it over to like this one where it's got the electric in-serve pump on it, and that electric in-serve pump is $10,000. That's a hard pill to swallow for that rig. We could have traded it off 2 years ago for 20. So I don't know, but that's just something to think about. I am now gonna head over to either Emerson or to Gray's so then I can get some of that liquidating hog manure or whatever it is that they're doing now. Alright, so I actually got you guys 2 treats. We are going to see something that I haven't really heard of or seen until this year. I knew that it happened, but not to the extent of what it's going on. So now we got a company out of Robinson, or Oblong really, which is hill spreading. They're going around and they're spreading chicken litter. They're getting it out of Ohio, they're hauling it all in, and the good thing about it over like turkey manure is a ton of the acre, okay? Turkey manure, you're putting on 3 tons of the acre. These guys, they are running big, basically big floater buggies. I don't know how to say it exactly, as to what they are. So I just got an okay from, I'm gonna fly the drone around them. I'll explain it a little bit before we go over and see this liquid get put on with the liquid bar out of the hog manure pit, because they're gonna be a while and hills will not be. So, but they got a Finnet, I know, Finnet tractor. I've only seen one in my life in the field running. So this will be pretty interesting for me. But they got a John Deere tractor out there and they got a Finnet. The main reason they got the Finnet is because it's faster. They can get to and from the field at 40 mile an hour. Whereas with the John Deeres, they can only go about 32 with the high-speed transmissions. Which, if you guys know anything about the high-speed transmissions, they are very expensive. So, we'll be there in a minute. Now I'll explain some more. Maybe. If this semi ever gets out of my way. He's driving very slow. Correction, depending on what time I get there, which should be here like any minute now. Depending on when I get there, we'll get to see if they're putting on turkey manure or chicken litter. Because they're switching back to turkey manure now. And they're going back to 4 ton an acre. So it all depends on who it is and if they got their own turkey barns, which like us, we don't, so we gotta have whatever they can get. They're getting ready to put on a bunch of it up there on us at Robinson, so hopefully that's next week that they get that done, but the weather's not really looking like it's gonna cooperate very well. So there's my buddy Bruner. He is in the John Deere tractor there. He's probably flipping me off right now. Alright, I gotta turn around. I'm on the wrong end of this. So that there is probably one of the fastest, most efficient, and the quickest ways you could probably get manure on a field. What we're going to see here in a minute is about one of the slowest. So the good thing about like manure in general, so your chicken manure and your turkey manure is going to have a little bit of nitrogen, not too much. Most of the time you still want to put on anhydrous with it, but it's got a high phosphorus and a high potassium rate. So in one pass, they're getting both of them on, whereas for us to put like DAP and potash on, we gotta do it in 2 passes, which that's not too big of a deal for us to do. But whenever you start talking about getting on our scale, getting farther away from home, it makes it very difficult. Now, this thing that we're going to see after here in a minute, you don't put anything on afterwards, and you raise a 400 bushel corn crop like it's coming out, like it's going out of style. Most people like to use hog manure to do high yield stuff. I don't know if they do it down the south. I've never looked at like Randy Dowdy stuff, but that's something that they do. I don't know. It's got a high rate of everything because hogs are just hogs. So anyways, that's where we're going to stop. So this here, they're drag lining. I'm gonna throw a drone up here in a minute because I really do not want to walk through all that stuff. So basically they got a pump here, it's pumping it all out into a line that goes all the way across that field. So they're running that back, there's a tractor out there, they're running it back and forth across this field, and they're putting on this hog manure out of this pit. Now, they're not spreading it on with freaking water hose like what I seen the other day on signal's on TikTok. I don't know. But yeah, and then here's another tractor they got line on it, it looks like. But yeah, they're just taking all this hog manure that's coming out of these barns. They got 3 barns here. They're putting it on. It should be, I think it does about, I could be wrong and he'll correct me in the comments, but it could be like 150, 200 acres. I don't really know. So, but it is one of the most efficient and effective ways to, I mean, you don't put anything on after that, as far as I know. So, he's going very, very fast too. I'm just walking with big strides up to him. Gotta come out and have my normal shoot the crap session with Gray while I'm over here, because probably won't get to see him until the weekend. Why don't you stop for me?
I can, man.
He hates me.
Keep going.
He hates me, I guess.
You'll be all right.
So he's sitting here complaining because I guess it's not pulling hard enough for him.
Yeah, it's going uphill.
He's going uphill.
Was. Now we're not.
So you don't got this thing in float or anything, do you?
No, it's okay. I have it set. It's set 5% down.
It's 5% down.
Yeah.
So
5% from the bottom. So here. There's all the way down, and then click it down to my setting, and then it raises up 5%. It holds that. It fluctuates a little bit going over terraces and stuff, but mostly stays right there.
Yeah, this is a very boring job to do.
That's why I got the iPad for Netflix. Not kidding.
So whenever you guys are doing this, you're putting on how many gallon the acre?
This field close to 27,000, roughly.
So what is the have you guys taken a sample or anything to see what's in it? As far
Nitrogen.
as like nitrogen,
Yeah.
phosphorus, potassium, anything else?
Lonnie sample. I couldn't tell you. Just I don't look at it, but Lonnie samples it all, and then we sample the fields too. Just try to even it out. We've got 5 or 6 different fields that we rotate every 3 years or so.
So that one pit there, how many acres will it do?
To the bottom, quite a few. But as much as we're going to take out, I don't know, probably 90 to 100 is what we're planning on.
I was off. I said 150.
No, not quite. We don't want to take it all the way down, because then we still got to have water to run back in the barns. So if we take it all the way down, then it's just running sludge in.
Yeah.
That's not good.
So how many acres is this field? Looks to be about 30, 35.
Yeah,
So
36.
36 acres, and this is taking you how long?
I started at 3:30 yesterday. Ran till 10:30 last night, and then I started at 7 this morning. And it's
And
9:32
you still
now.
got
And I've still got to that corner to
so
go.
another 15 acres.
Yeah, roughly.
Very, very, very slow.
You don't get in a hurry at all.
No. So, no, I just thought this was something cool. I figured I'd stop by, and Gray was out here, and
Yep.
figured I'd give him a hard time a little bit. But he's just got a little counter right there that's telling him how many gallons he's put on this field so far.
So my flow meter's reading 684,000 gallons put on so far, and then roughly it stays around 1,150 gallons a minute is what it's pumping. So
That's a lot of poop.
yeah, it is.
And then, so how deep is that knife going?
6-8 inches probably.
6 to 8 inches, that's it.
Yeah, not too far.
And they're pulling it with a 340. You'd never get away with doing this on our ground. On our ground, you'd be lucky to pull it with a 9R.
Yeah. Oh, it gets tough at times, especially pulling that line. That line, It pulls harder than you'd think.
If you seen there, whenever he was doing his little 5-point turnaround,
yeah,
and about getting stuck, I mean, it'll rock the tractor, that line wheel.
You got to swing it around pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I always pull way forward and then back into it and get you a little slack.
Yeah.
And then that way it doesn't drag you sideways.
Well, was it last year I was riding with you? I think it was last year.
Yeah, it was last year.
And you dang near knocked me out of the tractor. You swung it so hard that one time.
Yeah.
Hey! Alright, we're going to see if he can get me to bounce my head off the window again.
Yeah, we'll try.
His dad called. So you like the IVT better for this than power shift?
Starting out, no, because it was weird to get used to. But now that I've kind of ran it a little bit,
oh my.
Not bad.
So then you'll put it down, so then, because that pump doesn't shut off whenever he picks it up.
Yeah, I have, the only thing I can do with the pump is slow it down through the radio, but.
And you gotta tell one of them to go down there and slow it down, right?
No, I've got buttons on the radio that I can press, like certain codes, and then I've got a code to shut it off, slow it down, and speed it up. So like if I'm pumping too much, then I can press a couple buttons, slow it down, it'll slow my rates down, and then hose breaks or something, I run into it, something like that, I can kill it. So, yeah, we always make sure that's working, just in case disaster happens.
You don't want something bad to happen.
Yeah.
Especially doing this at 26,000 gallon a minute.
Yeah, it's putting her out there.
I mean, this is a nice tractor, but I bet it looks even better whenever it's covered in manure.
Give it a couple days. Yeah, you'll see it.
So you guys don't follow up with anhydrous on this, do you?
Normally not.
Or DAP or potash or anything?
We might throw some DAP out here, but just if it's low fertility manure.
So what's a normal corn yield do off of something like this? You got any idea?
I don't know. I'd hate to throw out numbers not knowing exactly. So
yeah.
It does better. I know on the yield maps you can see exactly where that line laid down the middle.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a strip that I won't be able to get anything on, and you can see exactly where that's at.
Well, that's how that one field of wheat was that we had that was all flat.
Yep, I remember that.
Yeah, you could see exactly where they laid that line out.
Uh-huh.
Oh well, but I guess it's about time for me to go home before you get too far away from my pickup again.
Yeah.
I've already wasted enough time. So, anyways, I'm pulling back into the farm now. If you guys would please remember to like and subscribe. Also, follow the farm Instagram, Facebook page, and check out the merch links in the bio. What? Why is it? Oh no, that's a different rig. Okay. Washing trucks off.